Hello everybody. I welcome you all to our Game Dev Beer event, a celebration of creativity and friendship. All of us here, we are game developers because we have need to create. It's in our DNA to bring new worlds and stories to life. In our field, the only limit is our imagination. Together we turn the impossible into reality. There is joy in seeing players experience our creations, in knowing our work has powerful impact. Now I want to talk about the future of games. So at Keen, we are working on a new generation of VRAGE3 engine. Chendo will be talking about it. And it's bringing planetary scale volumetric water, better render with global illumination, high performance, data parallelism, and also more detailed chips and planets. And that's what Natiq will be showing you. And at Good AI, we are also working on a game. It's called AI People. We'll be actually releasing alpha quite soon. And it's a game that is bringing AI NPCs with long-term memory that interact with the world, with other NPCs, and with the player. And it's not just a simulation, but it's actually NPCs that interact in a way that is progressing, interesting, and dramatic storyline. And I believe that AI will bring revolution to games. We will have AI-driven NPCs, we will have AI-simulated worlds, and soon anyone will be able to create a game just by talking to AI assistant. So you should start thinking about what new possibilities this will open for you. And also, I encourage all of you to start experimenting or to experiment and take risks, because the defining games of the next decade are awaiting for us to create. Thank you for coming here today and sharing your passion for game development with all of us. I'm looking forward to what you will create. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Marek. And big welcome, guys. I'm really happy to see you all here. So let me start the presentation. And this presentation will be about uh, crafting planets in our glorious VRAGE. So I'm very excited. I have a lot of cool stuff for you to show. And so let's get started. So just a brief information about who we are. So we're Keen SWH, and as you know, and you should know, it was founded by Marek in 2010, and we're independent company, no investors. We take our own decisions, which is great. And Space Engineers went early access in 2013, and it became a huge commercial success, and people loved it. And during the following years, we've been working on it when it was in early access, and in 2019 we finally released it, and again it was a success, right? So for now we have over 5 million copies sold. That's quite a lot. And we are on 3 platforms. We're on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And regarding the people, we currently have more than 100 colleagues working with us remotely from all over the globe. And these are fantastic people, I can assure you. And speaking about fantastic people, these are exactly this is the reason why we have such a beautiful game engine, which I'm going to talk about right now. So this is the VRAGE. This is our glorious game engine, which I'm going to talk. So this is just a beautiful slide featuring a couple of DLCs we have in Space Engineers. And this is how the Space Engineers game looks like in current version of VRAGE, right? So it's beautiful, it's fantastic, it's fun to play in. Like the world you experience as a player in Space Engineers is fantastic. You can do whatever you want there. You can build, you can destroy, you can build like spaceships, platforms in space on planets. It's just cool. It's fun. And but the thing is, we wanted to kind of make it look absolutely fantastic, absolutely amazing. So we always wanted to push the quality to see what's possible, how to make the planets look even better. And well, and obviously not only planets, but like everything. So we were thinking about how can we actually go from this, and this is the current state we have in space engineers. So we were thinking, how can we go to something that would look like this? And I don't know actually, why am I like pointing with my hand when I have a clicker? Yeah. So, so we were thinking about how can we go from this beautiful sphere to this beautiful sphere, right? So that's how the planet in Space Engineers look currently. So don't get me wrong, it's still cool. It's great. You can land there. You can do whatever you want there. You can crash into it. You can build your space stations on this planet. But it's, you know, it's 2013, right? So we were thinking about how can we do something that looks like this. And what you see here, it's actually how the current planet or the prototype of the planet currently looks like in current version of VRAGE, right? So as you can see, if I will click back and forth, you will see the difference. And that's not only about the resolution of the height maps, right? So what we were doing, we like sat together with guys, with artists, coders, and we were thinking about how can we achieve something that would look similar to this. And this is the image that I did in Houdini, and there were like a lot of them really. I'm just showing to you here like just a couple of them. So we were thinking about what would be the reference, what would be the picture, the look we would go after, right? And that's actually something that we've set for ourselves as a goal. So it should be something really, really detailed, something really natural looking that has all the features, all the nice details in them, in the terrain. So that's how actually we've came up with a magic formula, right? So what it takes to build a beautiful planet. So we figured out that in order to build a beautiful planet, we need to have high-res height maps, baked overlays, tessellated voxel materials, Biome Map that would drive these voxel materials on the planet, and large-scale detail maps, as well as boulders, overhangs, caves, and of course, as a final polish, it should be fantastically looking atmosphere. So we did exactly that. As you know, we were using the cube map UV layout for our planets. So that's actually was the starting point, and we created the planetary layout, the base layer of the planet in Houdini. And we've created quite a nice system in Houdini, which stitches all the borders. Mighty clicker, where are you? So we have the system that actually stitches all of these borders of this cube map between each other. So all of these sides are connected seamlessly, and that's done for the base layer. And then on top of that, once we have the perfectly seamless base height map of the planet, then the cool part starts actually. We were starting to project the height stamps, like the places of interest, right? So if for example, you want to have some nice ridge of mountains or some volcano, for example, or a rift, right? So you dive into Houdini. Not only Houdini, we also use World Creator, for example. So you dive into this beautiful creation process and start to come up with really cool looking height stamps. And Houdini has fantastic tools for that. And this is the screenshot from World Creator, and it received the update recently, which is also very cool. And it allows even to create rivers there. But rivers were in Houdini like for decades. All right, so that's the screenshots from World Creator, and that's how we were creating these height stamps. And here I'm actually showing how we went from the very low resolution starting plane with just had nothing than just the noise, and we're starting to gradually adding on top of that. So and that's the beautiful system Houdini has, erosion. So you can have all types of terrain features. You can come up with any fantastically looking terrain, and then you can run through erosion, and it will add so much realistic, cool-looking, natural effects on it. Definitely worth looking at, guys. So if you're interested in that kind of processes, I highly recommend checking what Houdini has. So yeah, now I wanted to talk about planetary overlays, and overlays are the very, very important part, because whenever you're looking at the planet from the outer space, if we wouldn't be having those pre-baked overlays, that's actually what you would see. And if we would closely see, you would see that definitely these looks like a camouflage, this digital camouflage, and that's actually voxels. So in order to cover that, we came up with a system that covers all the voxels in the far with the pre-baked set of maps. So that's how actually you see the planet from the outer space. And even when you're on the planetary surface, that's how you actually will see the planet in the far. So you will not be seeing the voxels anymore, because again, if I will jump back and forth, you will definitely see how beautiful this image is, because it's just a pre-baked texture. So that's another very beautiful example of the overlays in action, right? So what you see here, it's not a voxels. It's not voxels, though they represent the voxels. So whenever you land on them, whenever you will, for example, if you will land in this spot, you will definitely see the voxels, but in the far you will see the overlays. So and that's actually exactly what I was talking about. So here you can see the actual bare voxels, and in the far you see the pre-baked overlays that are basically just the albedo, normals, AO, ambient occlusion, roughness, etc. Right? So that's the beauty of it, because again, you see the bare voxels in the near distance, and in the far you see the here, for example, it's very visible that you have the pre-baked texture applied, right? So this is how it looks actually in action. And again, in the near, these are all the voxels, and here you can see the overlays. And another very important topic is the tessellated voxel materials. And our coders, they gave us the pretty much all the tools we could ever dream of in regards to author the materials, PBR materials. And we're creating these beautiful materials in Substance Designer, and also we're using some other also software for that, but mainly in Substance Designer. So as you can see, for example, in this video, the voxel materials are using displacement map. And all the pebbles that you see here and all of these features of the sand are actually pushing, are actually have shape, right? Because of the height map. So they look very, very realistic. They have depth. So that's another very prominent example of the tessellated voxel material in action. That's the desert cliffs. And that's actually the view from the editor that we're using for authoring this. That's the material we use for the seabed, because VRAGE3 will have water. So this is how it looks. And another very important thing is that we have Biome Map, as I was mentioning, and this Biome Map, it drives the placement of the voxel materials, of those tessellated materials that you have just seen. So by utilizing this grayscale map, we're placing the voxel material. So each value, grayscale value here, represents some voxel material. For example, here we can have some grass, here we can have some old grass or darker grass, here we can have some snow, for example, etc. You get the point. So, and that's how it actually looks when you're on the surface or flying on some low altitudes. So each value here, it's driven, each voxel material, it's obeying to the rules that we've set in this Biome Map. And next point is the large-scale detail maps. As you know, we are using the PBR textures, and they're tiled, of course, across the surface. So, but the thing is, the problem is that if we would be using only the displacement map of the textures themselves, it wouldn't be enough. So we wouldn't be able to come up with these kind of large details here, right? Because imagine that if I would show how big is the texture we're using on this area, it would be something like this probably. So it's really this small, especially compared to this guy standing here. So in order to come up with kind of these huge details, we need to add a second level of the detailization. So that's why we have these large-scale detail maps. These are basically also the height maps, but they're just a little bit smaller, 1K, sometimes 2K, but mostly 1K. And they are also tiled, and they add a lot to the visuals on the planetary scale. And that's how it actually looks in game, yeah, in the engine, right? So another very important topic, the boulders, the overhangs and the caves. And here you can see the overhang, and we have quite a lot of them. And for example, here it's very prominently visible here, these boulders. And sometimes we even use overhangs as boulders because they're like better integrated into the voxel terrain. So at runtime, those overhangs, they're being integrated into the voxel terrain, meshified like a one piece, one terrain really. So it's becoming an integral part of it. So yeah, another beautiful view. And here you can see the cave. And those caves are actually the models, the voxel models that are being randomly placed across specific biomes, and they are being subtracted from the base terrain, which results in a beautiful and very natural looking terrain. That's another example of this kind of cave. And finally, like I was mentioning, atmosphere. Our coders, like these guys are really magicians, and we're really happy to use what they gave us because currently we're able to come up with any kind of beautiful looking atmospheres. We can mimic a lot of environments, not only Earth-like but also the Mars-like, for example. So, and we have like controls for Rayleigh scattering, for Mie scattering, and we have lots of other parameters such as fog intensity, and we will have also the exponential fog soon. And yeah, there's quite a lot of cool stuff going on with the atmosphere. So here, for example, you can see that we were able to create the Mars-like atmosphere, right? So really great tooling we have, I must admit. And yeah, this is another example of the height maps. And by the way, all of our new planets that we're prototyping in VRAGE, they have 8K height maps compared to VRAGE2, which Space Engineers uses, which have 2K height maps. So 2K and 8K. Quite a difference. And this is just a nice little detail that we've added into Mars-like planet. So it's like, you know, cool little feature you will be able probably to find on a Mars-like planet. And it also was done in Houdini. It has amazing tools for projecting cool looking. Basically, you can project anything you want into your base height map and just have fun. So that's how it looks in this romantic Martian sunset. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. You can find my contacts here, LinkedIn, Twitter. Yes, Twitter, not X, but Twitter. I'm an old guy. So, so that's how we craft planets in VRAGE, and more exciting things to come, guys. Thanks a lot.